Hello everybody, so today we are carrying on. We're going to be doing a little bit on the major. Please ignore the blow lamp for our previous job. Yeah, so we're going to be, what are we going to do? Let's have a look. We're going to be carrying on with the front linkage that we are fitting, installing, whatever you want to call it. So we're going to install the front linkage, a couple of safety things, wood jack, a spreader plate under the sump, because we need to remove the fasteners here, and same on the other side. So we have new hair. Yes, we have had a haircut, first time in too long. New motivation, and we have the new project. So what we're going to do is install these plates on either side. We have some front plates to install. We're going to have to take the weight carrier off and the weight off at some point. Might be doing that today, might not, depends how well installing the sides goes. We're doing the front linkage side plates for the Fordson major project. Been round it with the set square, which is hiding back in the box. So just been around, just basically just making sure that things are pretty much square. What I'm going to do is put my drilling template on here. And then potentially what we might have to do is to put all the bolts in to hold it together once it's all drilled, and put it in the milling machine and just face that edge off to make sure that's nice and square. And then that'll be our datum point then for any work we do, or we can use any of the holes because they're all going to be drilled together. So it's probably flame cut, it's got a bit of a taper on it, it's period, so happy with that, don't mind that. Like I say, these bits here, that could be machined back flat as well, so we've got a datum at the back if we ever needed it. So, it's just the angle, it's just like, you know, it's flame cut. It is what it is, it's period. They were never exact, it's within engineering tolerances for fabrication, so yeah, we're good to go. So first thing is I'm gonna put the jig on. So what I need to do is get my measurement from here to where the jig starts, and then I can clamp the jig in place, and then we can use the mag drill to drill through the holes. So this is the original template that I made, just to put it on the tractor really, just to get a visual perspective of what we're going to be looking like. But what we do have at the same point is on the back side we have a mark to the start of the chassis rail, just there. So all I need to do is measure from the corner there to that mark, and then that will give me the distance to the start of the chassis rail. So what I've done now is I've got my measurement from the start of the hole edge to the front edge, which is 219.28. So I've put a little score in there, as you can see. So it just needs to be right on the edge of the hole, around about there. I've also put a score line under here, a bit hard to see maybe with the sun, but all I need to do is line it up to make sure it's square, and then we are ready for drilling. So we can get it all squared up, get the clamps on, and make some holes. Get the clamps on, making sure that we can still get the mag drill in place. So I'm just going to put a couple of these on just because there's no rotational force.
Past the point of no return, baby, on the summer night. A shot of love and a spark of laughter breathe. Stars align and the month times night burn like a dried out leaf. Are we leaving on the next train, baby? I do believe. Come on.
So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a hole in here first, and put a hole at the back. I'll drop a couple of bolts in, that way it will eliminate any potential movement. Right, so we got the mag drill now in the first hole on the template. Sit it nice and flat onto the plate. Template's bolted down, that's fine. That's nice and free. So yeah, get the cutting fluid ready. Put the magnet on. So using this, trying this now, Miller tap cut compound. Tried it the other day, seemed to work reasonably well. Got a tyre pasting brush which I'm going to use to apply it. So we should be ready to go. And let's go. And the next thing to do is just pop a bolt in so that there's no movement going forward. So I'm just going to drop a bolt now through there, like so. That'll now stop that from moving, and we can carry on and do one at this end, pop a bolt in there, and then drill the others. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to mark all the holes through the template now. I've noticed that because this is only 3mm steel sitting on top as a template, it's actually starting to pull up a little bit. So I'm going to go around, mark all the holes and take the template off, and then just drill through them actually with the magnet straight onto that, which will make it more rigid and a more accurate hole. Right, so we had our little mishap. The drill bit broke for some reason. Must have hit a hard spot of carbon or something. Anyway, so much later in the day now, new bit is in. What I'm going to decide to do is drill them one at a time. So I'm going to drill through this one first, all the holes, then I'll clamp the two together. I'll mark the other one by going straight through, and then I'll take this one off the other one, and then I'll mag drill straight onto the second plate. So let's see how we get on with this one. Got the sides here on the trolley. I'm gonna put my hat back on, keep my hair on my face and keep it clean. So we've got the plates that were cut by my friend Jed Hull at H-Roll Profile Cutting, based in Sandycroft, North Wales, just outside Chester. Really good service. Had the plates flame cut like I alluded to last time, and we've got all the holes drilled now, so we made a template for drilling the holes. So they fit the offside. If the near side is different, then what we're going to have to do, if the near side is different, is we're going to have to drill the chassis rails to accommodate. So let's get a plate off and let's get to it. So hat back on, hair out the way. Bolts on this side, I've already had them off because it's the side I use to make my template. So these are for the engine mount. Yeah, decided to use the mechanical screw jack under the engine because it's not going to creep on me, essentially. So it's a lot safer in that respect. This would be where it's really good to have two people. But I'm really lucky I only have me. Dung dung. And this now is where it either goes really well or really wrong. So what I'm going to do is get something to line it up, which will be a punch. Yeah, if I can find it in here. Oh, that's a chisel, that's not a punch. Here's the punch. We'll have my punch, which will take the weight. Try not to fall over my vast array of components. And hopefully, with the jig being used, I'll lift it a little bit more. Like so. Let's sort of in. Don't want the back to fall out, that's all. So, gonna do the same on the other side. Oh my god, it looks a beast! Oh. Does it look good? Does it look silly? Ah, it'd be grand when it's still mown it, I guess. Yeah! Right, the threads aren't quite as deep on this side because it is a machined casting. So I'm just going to pop an extra washer on just to make sure it snugs up at the minute, and then at a later point we can cut a little bit off the bolt. So just starting it back off with the ratchet to make sure it doesn't cross thread or anything untoward, and then gun it. Just like that. Better put my knot on the back as well, and then we can get some measurements. She's looking alright, so she is. She's looking alright. Eventually it's going to go onto an orbitrol unit, so what that means is that this cylinder can be turned around, so there's only this cylinder rod that's this end. This valve will be no more, and I'll have the pipes from here, so I've got the feed, inlet and the return going down there to the steering box, and then from the steering box I will have the left and the right then going into here and here. Well, in doing them jobs, so it's gonna, this pipe's gonna come off because this bit here is gonna be redundant. I might even change the cylinder altogether for a different type, so it'll be in there and in there for the oil supply for the hydraulic cylinder for the steering. So next thing to do is to take the weight off, undo them fasteners there, they 3/4 UNC bolts. I think got a big head on them, big like 28mm head, whatever that is, I think in the old money, 1.1/8" maybe, something like that. Yeah, and then we can clamp the bits onto the side and start measuring up for the drilling to take place to bolt the front plate on. Once that's done, I can then, I'll measure the width at the bottom. I know I have to machine a bit off of here because it's too wide, because it's made out of 22 7/8 plate. 15mm 5/8, I probably, yeah, 5/8 I probably would have got away with not having to machine it, but I know I've got to machine this side. Got to weld then some bits on here, which I have. So, oh, leave the glove. Yeah, these are the ones I haven't cleaned up yet. Got some ones already cleaned up in the shed ready. So they're going to get put on there like that. I might need to put another one on and then machine that back as well to get the correct distance. I'm going to drill them out initially to put the bolt in, and then we're going to bore it out on the milling machine so it takes a hardened bush. And it should start to come together. It should start to come together pretty quick. So, are you feeling brave? Are you feeling strong? Weighs about 40 kilo. I can't hold it for very long. Pull a funny face too. Ooh. So that's that off. These come off pretty easy because we had them out the other day. So I'm going to fire them out now. So I've got 3 bolts out now. Put the chisel punch in there just to take the weight because there's only me. Hoping it doesn't drop on my toes. If it does, I will not be happy. So I'm going to keep it pushed in and turn the bolt the correct direction, which is counterclockwise. Righty tighty, lefty loosey, and all that mumbo jumbo. Unless you're upside down, that looks a bit different. But move it on there. Be careful. And just like that, it's off. We have our anti-scratch device. Some of the finest cardboard in the country, that is. It's a good anti-scratch device. And yeah, because it's an ongoing development, or it's never going to be finished, as some people like to say, I prefer to put stuff on without scratching things, hence the masking tape and other bits and pieces. That it's like all this has got cardboard under it because I know at some point it's going to come off, and it's not a bad little gasket, to be fair. It's been trimmed back reasonably well with a knife. It should start to come together pretty quick.